Okay, this is my fleet. It's called a magtf or an upgun ESG. It's short a couple. Uh, it's short the other Arleigh Burke destroyer, which I haven't built yet, and it's short the attack sub or subs, maybe two. There's instead of one LPD and one LST, this has two LPDs in the group, and each one of them is armed to the hilt. This one has, as you can see, 16 on each side of the vertical launch tubes, 8 packs, so that's 64 ESSM missiles. It's just storing almost all of the anything that the Marines have pretty much has these Cobras and UENs sitting on them. So this has two or three of the Cobras, and then they're really powerful aircraft. And then this one happens to have one Minesweeper UH-60R, and then a CH-53 just being stored. And then it's got four MV-22s, and two of the MV-22s are set for AEW, so they're take care of the sky and send all the information back. And then one of the MV-22s, I think it's on the carrier, has the Harvest Hawk system installed. You can see it right there. You can see the missiles sticking out the side. The other one is inside the hangar right now with that being installed. There's maybe 15, maybe 18 MV-22s. There's about a dozen F-35s. These two F-35s are getting ready to take off for to do what they call cap, just over the whole group, fly continuously. Then these two just landed, and then here's there'll be four of these LCSs. This one happens to have the NSM missile launcher system on it for anti-ship. I haven't quite finished up the 30mm guns yet. And then it has two MH-60s. One's an R and the other one is just a H. And then all of the boats have these fire scouts on them. Those are for surveillance. They carry a couple little missiles for boats. You can see the fire scout there. And then there'd be two of these in the group, because they can go in shallow water, like I don't know what it is, 8-foot draft or something like that. And then they can launch out of the back. They can launch LAVs out of the back while they're moving, which is pretty cool. Same thing with this one. It has they can launch probably half a dozen or 10 LAVs. LAV is an amphibious tank. Then this one, actually, I had on there 16 vertical launch tubes, mostly for ESSM missile for self-defense. And here's the other side of the carrier. And this is the other LPD. You can see the missile 64 vertical launch tubes. And then this has 3 MV-22s just storing, and then several Cobras. Like I said, anything with the Marines on them has Cobras and Hueys on them. So, and then it's got two what they call Black Hawk 60R Minesweeper helicopters. And then this is the Arleigh Burke destroyer. There'll be 2 of those, and they carry 2 of the MH-60s on board. When I build all my ships, I build them with both the outside and the inside. So I'll pause and pull the decks off so you can see. Okay, this is the ships with the decks pulled off. Like I said, these are all just roughed in. I'm having a hard time figuring out, you know, from the videos. They don't publish any of this stuff. But there's actually 3 decks of vehicles. There's about 100 vehicles in here. There's about maybe on the lowest level 60 Humvees. You can just barely see them through the clear. I make all the floors clear, and then I don't want to build all these little vehicles. So what I did was take pictures of vehicles. You can see all the construction equipment and pallets and things. And then these are some more of those swimming tanks. And this one has probably 50 trucks all together in the magtf. And then there's always a lot of construction equipment that goes with these. This is it's called a M88. It's basically a tank with a crane on it. And there's usually a couple of those in the group. And then these are 2 LCACs that are basically ready to pull out. And then, let's see, there's a bunch of these. Once the LCACs pull out, all these swimming tanks and LEVs, they can just drive off the back and go swimming. That's what they do. And these L2 LCUs, once they're out of the way, all these swimming tanks just take off and go swimming. They'll swim probably 20 miles. And then, you know, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LCACs all together. And then those will they go like 70 miles an hour. And there's about a dozen F-35s. Some of them are stored in the hangar here. And then these are what they call ready or cap. And those 2 are just taken off. They take off the end. They only need 450 feet to take off. So that's all they need, even with the missiles on them. These 2 were the ready fighters that just came in and landed, and these are taken off, and they go hover around, you know, the group 24 hours a day. And then there's a couple of CH-53Ks in the group, and then the rest are the older 53Es. And there's one in storage on there and another one on there. And like I said, there's at least, I think, 15 MV-22s all told. And then all the Marines have bunches of Cobras and Huey-Ns, or Ys, I think they're called. Just on every ship that they've got like 1,000 of the things. They've got like 1,000 of these crazy AAVs, and they've got like 1,000 of these LAVs. That's it. And then these, like I said, all these are just roughed in, because once I figure out how they're supposed to be constructed, it gives you all these ramps and stuff in there. You can barely see in there. There's ramps going down, ramps going up. There's elevators all inside there. I gotta figure all those out, and then I'll build a final version. Nah, like I said, all the ships have these scouts on them. There's one on that one. There's one on this one. This one has a scout. Those are UAVs that they've got a few small missiles on them, and that's about it. But they're basically for aerial surveillance and stuff. That's about it. These have this one has a 64 missile launcher, vertical missile launcher on it, and then this particular one has 8 on this side and 8 on that side, or actually 16 on each side, which would be 64 ESSM anti-aircraft missile systems. And then, of course, the Arleigh Burke has gazillions of vertical launch systems on it, and there will be 2 of those. And that's about it. That's what I've been doing for the last couple months.